CEOs and leaders have to be lifelong students. And not just students in the sense of attending courses or reading a book or two. You've got to learn how to read widely, walk the market, look at trends in the marketplace, make connections that don't seem obvious, and start to paint pictures of what the future could be.
People perform better when there's no safety net. People perform better in sports and everything else if you don't have a plan B. To me, it is very dangerous to have a plan B because you're cutting yourself off from the chance of really succeeding.
In a world that's changing so quickly, the biggest risk you can take is not taking any risk.
When you feel like giving up, don't. When you thinking about giving up, don't. When it look like you ain't gonna make it, keep going. When they tell you you can't, come on, man, who are they? Don't believe them, man. Don't believe them. You got to be relentless.
If you want to become successful in life, young man, he said, number one, you got to change your mindset. He said, you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. Number two, practice OQP, only quality people. And the third thing he said, develop your communication skills, because once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are.
Today is very tough. Tomorrow is more tougher. The day after tomorrow is beautiful, but most people die tomorrow evening. You have to work very hard. Every tough days, every tough situations, problems you meet, that is the training of yourself.
If anything tried to bring us down, we used it to make us stronger. We were never satisfied, never finished, will never be retired. Rest at the end, not in the middle. And I took that to heart. I believe there's time for resting at the end, but for me, that time is not now.
Once you come face to face with who you are, you have a starting point. All right, I'm not real smart. I have no courage. I have no self-esteem. I have no nothing. Nothing. That's my starting point. Now we can move from there. But if I tell myself I'm strong, I have courage, I'm smart, and all these are lies, you continuously push that starting point backwards.
Yeah. I don't care how good you are in anything, you don't have discipline, you ain't nobody.
Right.
You're nothing without discipline, because you give up under the slightest struggle without discipline.
100%.
Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
Doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. That is a great quote.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can do that, you could be successful in anything.
You normally are.
If you are going toward what the vision look like, and that's like greatness, that's, on multiple levels.
Mm-hmm.
That's the vision that I'm working towards. I just think about that, like this shit ain't supposed to feel, comfortable. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to stretch you. It's supposed to be a burden to a degree. And you gotta, wrap your mind around that and accept it and embrace it.
It takes courage to be different. It takes courage to go where you've never gone before. For some of you, it took courage to come to this conference. It takes courage to get you outside of the box. It takes courage to be successful. It takes courage to win. People don't talk about people that don't win. If you win, they're going to talk about you.
Your legacy is every life you've touched. We like to think that these great philanthropic moments are the ones that leave the impact or will make the huge difference in the world. But it's really what you do every day. It's how you use your life to be a light to somebody else's.
Know what you want. What do you want in your marriage? What do you want with your son and your daughter? What do you want in your health? What do you want financially? Like, how much money do you want to make a year? What do you want to drive? How do you want to live? Stop just waking up like an accident. What do you want? And then once you find out what you want, spend the rest of your natural life waking up and going after it.
If you want to be successful, learn from the other people's mistakes. Don't learn from the successful stories. No matter how smart you are, you will encounter these mistakes. When these mistakes come, this suffer comes, you know how to deal with it, how to face it. The book I want to write is Alibaba 1001 Mistakes. Life is not how much we achieved. is how much we go through the tough days.
When you're able to become successful, you meet people in life that kind of help motivate you and inspire you. And you never know why people are put into your life until you actually get around them. But how we just collectively inspired each other, and then you sit back and you just say, I'm truly blessed.
The key with me is just always finding what the anchor is. And the fucking anchor is getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day before anybody else and grounding my thought process is in the no one will outwork me. No one.
In 1 month, I got 9 views and 2 subscribers. 2 subscribers? Yes, sir.
Happiness is the key because there's so many people that you see either in this industry or just in life in general that are going through their days and may have everything they could ever want, but they're not happy. You have to focus on what makes you happy and make decisions in your career, in your life that make you happy.
You finally made it to the big league, and now you want to chill? Now you got the big head, now you can't grind? You here now. You here now. You finally made it. And this is where you break up? This is where you start chilling? This is where you get comfortable?
If you're going to school, what your parents will say? You must be number one. If you are number one, what about all the other 30-40 kids who are there? They must be below you.
They're losers.
They're losers. So your joy is only in other people failing. When your joy is about other people's misery, that's not joy, that is sickness.
Ideas don't come out fully formed. They only become clear as you work on them. You just have to get started. If I had to know everything about connecting people before I got started, I never would have built Facebook. Movies and pop culture just get this all wrong. The idea of a single eureka moment is a dangerous lie. It makes us feel inadequate because we feel like we haven't had ours yet.
If I'm the most talented or the best singer or the best songwriter in the room, I'm in the wrong room. You know, I'm always trying to get better. A lot of the greats, I think, understood that, and I want to be great, so I surround myself with people that are great.
A lot of people want to be successful, but they want to go to the club on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday, and then on Monday, they're getting outperformed by everybody in the fucking office, and they're wondering, why don't I get the raise and the promotion? Shut your fucking ass up, that's why, man. Get to work, you know, and that's something that I do. I don't give a fuck about the social media, about even hanging out, man. If it's not productive to what I'm doing, I'd rather just get some rest time and go to sleep.
And when you spend from a belief that every cent you earn will be your last, you operate from a place of scarcity, a context that runs counter to the energy of abundance. Money, like all life, is an energy exchange. You give yourself over to whatever you're passionate about, and what comes back to you is energy in the form of monetary compensation.
Excuse me, is this the new Rolls Royce?
That's a $350,000 car, sir. It's really expensive. I don't know if you can afford it.
I'm paying cash.
Okay. I am genuinely confused. Where did you get all that money?
I'm a multi-millionaire.
Here's a piece of advice. Next time, don't judge a book by its cover.
Act like the person you want to become. And the reason why this is so important is we know thinking alone won't get you to change. You actually have to take the actions that change everything.
Do not go into a job thinking about money. Because if you go into a job thinking about money, you're not going to get the most out of it. If you go into a job loving it, being passionate about it, you're going to get everything you got coming out of it.
The fact that I'm going to die one day and that everyone around me is going to die and no one will remember me after a certain point makes me feel so good. Like, because I could do the best thing in the world and nobody would remember it ever, and I'll die and it won't matter, and everyone else around me will die and it won't matter. Or I could do the worst thing in the world and that won't matter because I'll die eventually.
When's the last time you went shopping?
Houston, a week ago.
What'd you buy?
An airline.
One of the most important messages I have for entrepreneurs is that failure should inspire you to get smarter. And unfortunately, our school system says if you fail, you're stupid. That is not true. We learn from our mistakes. Mistakes are opportunities to get smarter, be humble, and take a look at something.
Think for yourself, question everything.
and believe in yourself. When you're falling, don't pretend like you're not. When you're hurting, don't pretend like you're not. Find people that uplift you, not tear you down. It's a crazy world. But you got to understand this. We got one life. This is your life. One life. So why not work to be the greatest version of yourself for yourself?
The greatest version of you? It's not the I can do anything version of you. The greatest version of you is the disciplined version of you. The greatest version of you is the version that has parameters. No, I don't do that. I don't drink that. I don't go there with these people. I'm focused. I know what I'm supposed to do, and that ain't it. I have to stay right here. It's the version of you that has parameters.
I advise you to seek out, as your partner in business, your partner in life, whatever it may be, look for the people that actually are examples to you rather than somebody that you need to straighten out yourself. Associating with people that will cause you to move in a better path than you might otherwise have. They will take you so far in life that it's hard to believe.
For so long I was searching for a real love, but I finally found my real love. And that real love is me.
I was thinking about suicide every day, and I had nothing to be upset about. I was heavyweight champion of the world. I was 27 years old. I had money, fame, glory, a family, achievements, kids, everything running so smooth, but it didn't matter because mental health will bring you to your knees if you let it.
Fear is, always with you. I don't know anyone that, honestly can say they don't have fear in life, You have fear of something, or another. But if your motivation exceeds fear, you're always going to overcome it.
Change your relationship to fear. I've said this before. Fear is not the enemy. The feeling of fear is just like any other emotion. Fear is actually informing you. Fear is telling you that you need to do something. Either do more research, get some support, get some insight, study a little more, slow down. Fear is actually feeding you. So then ask yourself the question, what do I need to do, think, or go get to dissipate this fear?
One of my jobs as the leader of Amazon is to encourage people to be bold. It's incredibly hard to get people to take bold bets. If you're going to take bold bets, they're going to be experiments. And if they're experiments, you don't know ahead of time whether they're going to work. Experiments are by their very nature prone to failure. But big successes, a few big successes, compensate for dozens and dozens of things that didn't work.
5 years of building my business, I was hyper-focused, like laser focused, because all I wanted to be was the queen of New York real estate. I had it in my mind on day one, had it on day two, I had it on day 14, and it never left my mind. I was hyper-focused on who I wanted to be. All the work was about getting there, but that's the zone I was in.
What does school teach you about money? And the answer is nothing. And that's not a mistake. That's not an accident. I knew that. Most people know that. But the way to keep the poor and middle class working hard is never teach them what the rich know.
Here's how you know if someone's your friend. A, you can tell them bad news, and they'll listen. They won't tell you why, you're stupid and why that bad thing happened to you and how something worse happened to them once and, derail the whole conversation. You can actually tell them bad news and they'll listen. So that's a good thing. And then this is a weirder thing. You can tell them good news and they'll help you celebrate. And that's a really good way of deciding who you should have around you.
My favorite line that Rich Dad said, he said, money may not be the most important thing in the world, but it affects everything that is. It affects your lifestyle, it affects your health care, it affects your level of education, it affects everything on a day-to-day basis. It affects the food you eat. So it may not be the most important thing, but it does affect everything that is important.
This is what champions do. This is what people who win perpetually do. They don't give a fuck what's happening in the world. They don't let the distractions of the day pull them off course. Do those things make it harder for them to do it? Yes. But what does that mean? It means that we focus. It means we get more disciplined. And if you quit, if you falter, if you stop, all of the pain will be for nothing.
Never stop thinking about how to delight your customer. not to satisfy your customer, but to delight your customer. And when you wake up in the morning, start thinking about it. During the day, think about it. At night, think about it, and then dream about it. And no company's ever failed that had millions of delighted customers. And you start with them and you get them one at a time.
Number one lesson I could offer you where your work is concerned is this: become so skilled, so vigilant, so flat out fantastic at what you do that your talent cannot be dismissed. Finally, this will save you. Stop comparing yourself to other people. You're only on this planet to be you.
What's the most important key to success? I think it's hunger. It's not getting satisfied. Anyone you respect who's achieved at the highest level, intelligence is an incredibly important distinction and a valuable thing to have in life. But I always tell people, you can find so many intelligent people that can't fight their way out of a paper bag. What matters is hunger. A hunger that doesn't go away. A hunger to learn, a hunger to grow, a hunger to serve, a hunger to give, a hunger to create breakthroughs.
You meet somebody wealthy, their family at one point was not wealthy. And then the one shows up. The one. One person changes the family tree forever. In my family, I'm the one. And it wasn't because I wanted it or I hoped for it. I fought for it. I want to win. I want to fight for my family. I want my mom and dad proud of me. I want my kids proud of me. I want me proud of me. I want to look in the mirror and be happy with the man I look back at. That he gave it everything, that he went for it.